You know what the fuck going on, man. It's big homie Mac, man. Big dog business, bitch. And we in here with 317 A&R turning locals into stars, bitch.
How you what? How you living? It's your boy Miles, Deep 317 A&R, who I got in the building with me today.
It's Lil Billy, man. Yes.
Sir, how you feeling, bro?
Great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you for coming out.
For sure.
Man, so I'll be having a lot of the new generation, the younger artists on the platform, bro, but I had to get one of the legends in the building. How does it feel to be
For sure.
known as a legend in the city and a pioneer in the music scene?
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. So many people who probably did more than me don't get recognized like that. So I just humbly appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So before we get into like now and more current stuff, we're gonna get background on you.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you about how you came up type shit. So,
Okay.
where you from?
Indianapolis, Indiana, Crown Hill section, Kenwood, 36.
How was that, bro? How would you say Crown Hill section of Kenwood is different from other areas in the city?
We real smooth. A girl described us that way one day. I was talking to her. She's like, y'all some real smooth criminals. So like we just laid back, but it's I don't know. That's how I say we're different though. We're real laid back, but it's method to our madness.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
the best way I could discuss it.
Okay. So talk about how you was as a youth, like as an adolescent coming up, maybe even before you started pursuing music. Like what type of person was you? What was you into?
I always been a nerd. Started school when I was 2. You know, that's different for most people. So I was just a nerd, bro. And honestly, I always been musically inclined though. Like music always been my thing. I ain't never liked nothing but music in the streets. So before the music, it was the streets. That was it. Schoolwork.
How was your household?
Good.
As far as like parents, brothers, sisters, siblings.
I was I had my mom and my dad my whole life till my dad passed away. My mom and dad weren't together, but they both raised us jointly and they were best friends. It was always me, my mom, my dad. It was always me and my mom when I stayed over there. I got a little brother, Key Weezy, shout out to him. And it was just us. I got a little older, moved with my dad.
Okay. And so like you said, it was the streets before music, but what do you think pushed you to kind of jumping in the streets or jumping off the porch per se?
I always loved it. Like I grew up in it. My mom and dad was both in the streets, so it's always been around. Like it's always been an abundance of money. I always had respect because my mom and dad were respected. So it was always just like, you know, like if you grow your kid up around sports, you're gonna lean towards that. I always was groomed like by the streets. So it was just like some mob shit basically. I was just waiting on my age to get involved.
So talk about the actual neighborhood. Like, are there differences from Kenwood or Crown Hill today compared to back when you was coming up? How has it changed? Has it stayed the same?
It's gentrified now. So like it's car washes and it's mixed races of people. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. It was very violent. It was like a very drug infested neighborhood. And now it's like multicultural and more expensive houses and
So you weren't
it's like
seeing no white people walking
not
around
hell.
back then?
Nah, you never seen that. Like we was automatically like, this a police. Now, like when you go through there, you're more liable to see a different race than it is a young black male. So a lot of stuff has changed. A lot of my friends are gone. A lot of the old way of thinking is just pushed out.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Like as far as the changing, like losing people. Like, when can you recall like your first experience with like either death or violence? That kind of like, cause you know that stuff stayed. Your first interaction to that stays with you from a kid to now. So.
Very, very young. Like my neighborhood was like just all like tough guys. So like as soon as I became of age and I started going to my grandmother's house, I used to just see violence on the regular. It's a regular. If it wasn't nothing but like a dude beating up a junkie for owing him money or something. Like, it was just always violent all the time. Shootings, all that, all the time.
So in what ways, like when you started coming up and seeing that, did you feel like, you had to adapt to your environment basically?
Yeah, at first I was scared of it. You know how you be, like, you don't know what's going on. Then, see, I gotta watch what I say because I don't want other kids to be thinking this is glorification of what I'm saying. But we practice. So just like when you practice basketball and you shoot jump shots, we used to practice acts of violence. So it might be just a junkie or somebody walking up and we'll be like, I bet you can't hit hard. And that means you can't knock him out. So we used to practice. We just practiced and worked our way up until more violent acts until you became like numb to it basically. And that's how we grew up back then.
For sure. Like, I know a lot of people kind of like jump into the street life just for the bread type shit. Like, was that one of your reasons, or was it just because that was all that was around you?
Nah, tennis shoes. I started hustling for shoes. Straight shoes. I used to come outside and I see everybody from the neighborhood with every pair of shoes. And I was like, I got to get that. So it started as that and then it manifested into other things. But I personally started for just shoes.
Was this, what age was this?
I started hustling when I was like 12.
Okay. So did you end up graduating high school or finishing out school?
No, I got my GED in prison. I dropped out of high school my 12th grade year, second semester. Well, I got kicked out.
You was right there?
Yeah, I got kicked out.
Okay. What was the reason for you, for them expelling you?
Some gang shit. Like, some gang promotion shit. They put me out and they tried to send me to a IPS school. And so I went to township school. So IPS school, they don't honor the same credits. So when I got to IPS and they tried to tell me I had to stay extra year, I was like, fuck that. And then my phone was crashing hard by then. Like, I was starting to take over my neighborhood.
Right.
So I was like, fuck school.
Did you ever have to encounter like jealousy per se as you became like having more money and like getting a name and stuff like that? How did you deal with that?
I've experienced jealousy my entire life. Because as I told you, my mom and dad was in the street. So I had things that the other kids wouldn't have. And it necessarily didn't have to be material. I just had a mom and a dad who wasn't a drug abuser. So you feel me? It was different levels of this. But I've been dealing with envy forever in my entire life. So dealing with drugs, it really wasn't nothing because, you get the power with it. So I just started abusing my power and shit.
Yeah, so who would you say is responsible for showing you music?
My father.
Father? Okay.
My father loved music.
Okay.
Like, loved it. Oldies, rap. He could rap. And he just loved music. So once I started showing signs of it, I got with one of my cousins who was a DJ. Excuse me, and he just helped grow the seed that was planted by my father.
Okay. And so this was before you ended up having to go to prison, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what were some highlights of like in the music that kind of before prison that showed you like I can do this?
Shout out DJ Black. I had did a freestyle. Well, I had did a few freestyles. So back in them days, like we had like Lil Flip and rappers like that, the freestyle king that we used to look up to. So Lil Flip and them used to freestyle on DJ Screw mixtapes. And so whatever mixtape DJ Screw would put out, he'll put the screwed up click flowing on there. So we'd just get on like, my first song I got on was a DJ Black mixtape, and I got on a DJ Pimp C. Shout out DJ Pimp C. I got on his mixtape and I rapped a freestyle. And it went like basically viral, but without the internet. But around the whole city, everybody knew the words. Everybody was like, Billy a rapper. And that was my first taste of like, I could really do this shit.
What was the reactions of like friends and family when they figured? I mean, some of them probably already knew you was talented, but how was their reaction when they actually seen like the fruit of your labor coming to pass?
They just supported. They supported heavy. Damn, we didn't know you could rap and shit like that. They supported it.
That's what's up. Was you collabing with other artists? Like, who was you listening to? Who influenced you?
Yeah, G Stack, Wiz, Lil Nut, DJ Don, all the DJs. So when we was coming up, the city was more of a DJ, like, it's about the DJs now, but then it was like we were going crazy. DJ Gus, DJ Don Don, DJ B Nasty, all the DJs, period. And yeah, we was just going crazy like that. Going crazy for the DJ.
What about in the city? Who else around that time? Just to give people a time frame that do know about Indianapolis music. Like who else was doing their thing at that time?
When I was, or before me?
Like, well, kind of around that same time, or maybe even a little bit before.
Jimmy Mack, Wiz, Tragic.
Yeah, Tragic.
Tragic been putting in that work. Who else? Rumble Records. That was out here. Far East Side had Rumble Records.
Okay.
625, DJ Ready Rock and Henri. Who else? Two Skeezy and Hawthorne Projects. Who else was it? TOS was like Delaware and all that. Rumble World, which is like DJ Pimp C, all they homeboys. It was a lot of people, bro. And I'm really, really tied in with this music shit. Like I know the generations of this shit.
Yeah, right.
Feel me?
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like Nap always had a presence. We was just slept on, but we always had like East Side, West Side, North Side, South Side, all had their rappers.
Yeah, for sure.
Always.
Was there anybody else from your area that was rapping?
Around my way, back then. Who else was rapping back then in the hood? Way back then, I'm not really sure who. I can't think right now, but eventually, as time came forward, it was other rappers around the way though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So talk about so you was bubbling with the music, and then you ended up having to do a little time, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about like what happened and what transpired for you to go to jail?
Yeah, I ended up catching a dope case and pistol case. I used to take Xanax real bad. I used to be a real bad drug abuser, like lean and Xanaxes and shit like that. I had passed out. I had paid somebody to drive for me, to drive me around, and we both passed out off the Xanax and drinking lean, and I got caught with a gun and some drugs. And I went to prison that first time.
You went to prison your first time? Mm-hmm. Where'd you go?
Branchville, and then I went to Miami.
Miami, okay.
Yeah.
What was it like? Like, what do you recall as like your first like reaction to being in a different environment, or if it was considered different to you? What do you recall? Like your first couple days in, or?
Really, I was a total different person then. So like my mind state was like, this a part of the game. I'm a gangster, this is what come with it, it ain't nothing. You feel me? So you just had to stay hard. You really just.
Any experiences in there that stuck with you or actually answer this? What if somebody was going in? What would be your advice to them? How to go in there and stand on 10 and leave out how they came in?
Just mind your business. Mind your business. That's the best advice I can give anybody doing jail time. Mind your business. Nah, it's really, yeah, mind your business. Mind your business. That'll get you through your bid easily. But the one thing that stood out to me, because you just said that, one thing that stood out to me was relationships. Prior to going to prison, I never really left outside of my neighborhood, and I never really built relationships outside of my norm. I was cool with staying where I was at. So when I first went to prison, I got exposed to different people from around the states of Indiana. I got exposed to different people from different neighborhoods who was good at music too. And that's really where I started learning the power of relationships and building and stretching out farther than your comfort zone. So.
That's what's up. So I do want to ask you this, like what would you say is like, since you was around different people from different cities and different states and stuff, like what would you say is a common misconception about Indiana or Indianapolis that people have that is untrue?
That is untrue. I think it's really only corn here.
Yeah.
And that's my next bid, the Fed bid. Like they really don't know how we coming at all. Because you got to think, nobody really shows them. Nobody really leaves out of these comfort zones and tries to build anything. And the people who do usually just stay away when they go. So they don't be like, hey, come check out what we got to offer. They more of like, oh, okay, I'm out here now, I made it, I'm cool. And they going about their business. So a misconception about us is that we slow and ain't nothing happening around here. They really, really think that.
Trapping, you work too hard.